tripping. I still lean on my mom jealous. I'm from where they tip slow, when you know they gon' be jealous. Nobody need to guess me, dog. I'm quite sure you can smell it. I'm
Hey, what's going on? This is your boy Kadeem, and you are tuned into the His, Hers, and the Truth podcast. Check out my guy's new single tribute to Screw featuring yours truly.
A sight to see just like his new split screens day after Valentine's. I came from 215s, never revealing the plans on them. Hot, let me get a fan on them. All supply, no demand on them. Never curse, but go ham on them.
In this bitch today. Oh, you
said let's go.
Oh, shit. What up, this Steph G?
And this is Nika T.
A.K.A. David Ruffin is in the building. And this is...
His, Hers,
and the Truth podcast.
What the fuck is wrong with you today?
I don't know, man. I'm telling you, after I got the new hours for work, you know how black people count their money before the money come. So I'm just sitting there like, all right, now
I got this to work with.
Now I can maneuver. I can do this. I can do that. Man, these trips.
I feel that.
You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take my sea moss and my elderberries.
I'm not talking to you.
And I'm finna
bougie ass. I told you. You be looking down.
No, I don't.
Peasants.
She said I be looking like, cause I be trying to leave, man.
He always be talking about. He was like, I be bored and stuff here, but going out of town, traveling, man, you be looking down on folks.
Cause it's a different feeling. You see stuff you haven't seen,
Even
or you
still.
re-experience something that you haven't experienced in a long time.
But why not appreciate what you also have here?
I do. I just be bored with it too.
All right.
I'm just saying, man. I'm trying to go to a couple of places, like I was saying earlier. Not the big places that's closed, but you know what I'm saying. Just Yellowstone. I wouldn't mind going to go see the Grand Canyon. You know what I'm saying? Just mask up, go out there.
Ain't nothing wrong with it. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with wanting to travel. It was just the fact that you was like, the shit here is boring.
Like, it's not boring to you?
I don't go nowhere.
You don't even see the stuff out here.
I don't go nowhere.
Oh. What made you like that?
Being hurt by people.
You been for real?
Dead ass. Being hurt by people. Like getting to know people, putting myself out there in environments where I'm getting to know people. It gave me that. It opened me up a little bit to like the reality of who people could really be. And so with that, I kind of got to a place where I was like, well, shit, if this how motherfuckers is, fuck them. I'll just chill in my own little space. And it became comfortable. Like, I love it in Nicotopia. That's...
Like, I get how, you like being in your own vibe. I think it's more, when I say go out, just really experience just what, like, you can go with somebody that you're really close with.
Yeah.
And then you just go experience stuff.
But no.
That's
I mean, yeah, you can definitely do that. And don't get me wrong, I do plan on, experiencing that one day. However,
stateside.
For the time being. But however, I like my own space.
Okay. I mean, that's cool.
It developed from one thing. It started out being this one thing, but it grew into me actually liking that, and that being what I'm happy with. Like, I'm happy being at the house and just chilling.
You know what? And that kind of makes you a jewel in the sense of when dudes be like, nah, man, I just want to just chill at the crib. And girls be like, yeah, you want to fucking want to do shit at the crib. I want to go this, I want to go do that. You find somebody that's like really like being at the crib. You be like,
Listen.
save this money.
Listen.
Let's buy American Skin and call it a day.
We chill at the house. We might play some video games. We might sit up and binge watch some anime. We might work on some music or some
I ain't
something.
been watching no anime.
Man,
I know that's your thing.
You not
I know
into
that's your
anime.
thing. I know that's your thing.
God.
It's just I can do the Boondocks. That's it. And is PJs
Understood.
considered anime?
No.
I mean, it's not. Why? It's not a real person.
It's a cartoon.
So what's the difference between anime and cartoons?
Bro, we've had this conversation.
I didn't forget.
We had this conversation. I'm not going back to
Cause ain't
it.
like what is it? Naruto? Naturo?
Naruto.
Naruto? Isn't that a cartoon?
It's an anime.
So anime is like for adults, right?
It's not primarily for adults, but it's more. You have a lot of them that are.
So
I've been able to, because Ja likes anime as well, but I've been able to find a lot of kid anime that isn't real adultish. You just okay.
But I watched Dragon Ball Z growing up.
I mean, some other stuff just didn't stick with you. Like, I didn't really realize that I liked it until me and him just sat down one day. He was like, hey, I want you to watch this. And I was like, all right. I'm one of them type of people where if you interested in something, I want to know about what my person is interested in. So he was like, hey, check this out. And I ended up loving it. And I was just like, all right.
So anime is basically Japanese cartoons. Japanese cartoons.
It's not. It's a difference in anime and cartoons, though.
Oh, okay. So how you been lately, man?
I've been.
You've been.
I've been. That's all I can say.
Oh.
And I'm here today, so hey.
Bars. Free bands. So I had to Google, is anime a cartoon?
Oh God.
And I just I just be curious as to what it says, and stuff like that. It says no matter how you look at it, an anime is a cartoon. The main difference is that an anime is considered a Japanese style of cartoons in the West. So, I mean, anime, cool. You watch anime? You don't?
Have
I? Yeah.
You watched it with a chick?
No.
You watched it by yourself?
No.
You watched it with some niggas? So, you and your niggas was smoking watching anime?
No, my best friend, he like anime.
Oh.
I mean, it ain't nothing wrong with it.
Ain't nothing wrong with niggas chilling around with each other watching some anime.
I mean, you chill around and watch sports with your niggas. Why not?
That's competitive nature.
Honestly, anime has a lot of
drive. Where?
Anime has a lot of competitive nature. In
Where?
Most
you
of
talk
them,
about when they fighting each other?
Yes, most of them has fighting. Like, bro, you watch Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer. Demon Slayer is dope. I watched that one a while back.
But when you throw sports in there, sports is something that you can.
Black Clover.
When was the last time you bought a sword?
When was the last time I bought? I haven't bought a sword, but I want to own one.
You have. That's what you need to do for your birthday then.
I'm not doing that for my birthday.
Why? You want it.
I'm not doing that for my birthday.
You want to own it.
Honestly, but you know why I'm not doing that for my birthday.
I know why.
I'm not doing anything for my birthday.
I'm just thinking about a sword. Like I had a sword. It was made out of wood, and my dad. Shout out to my dad. He made me a sword when I was like 10, because I had just finished watching Blade. I'm like, oh shit, I want one of them too. Went in the back.
That's so
put
nice.
Blade on it. Yeah,
That's so sweet.
that's my dog, man. I need to
Aw.
go see him. Probably go see him tomorrow. See if he
Shout
at
out
home
to
tomorrow.
Pops.
Yeah, shout out to Pops, man.
That's so sweet.
I know, man. That's my nigga, man. That's my nigga.
Yeah.
But no, I'm gonna tell you what. Lately, what it's been, I've seen so many people losing parents and friends. It's kind of like the Kobe effect all over again. Remember we did that episode, and I was telling you how, with Kobe passing and what it making me reflect back on and future references.
Man,
I
listen.
called your brother too. I'm waiting on my to hear back from them. Should be any time now. They took my money.
Listen, life is fleeting, and it passes you by quick as fuck.
Yeah.
And if I ain't learned nothing else, bro, I'm about to be 30 in a week. I'm about to be 30.
You old,
3-0.
man.
Fuck you. But 30.
Cause you 30, right?
I ain't old. I'm not about to be old. 30 ain't old.
No, for us it is.
We used to think 30 was
older
old.
people, it's younger.
No, we used to think 30 was old. Oh, 30 really is not old. I mean, don't get me wrong. There are new lessons that I've learned in life with going through life these 30 years. Don't get me wrong. And you gain a lot more knowledge. Like, I feel like right now I'm in a place where I'm just like, okay, I gotta get shit more organized. It ain't even really just, don't get me wrong. I've been a parent for almost 5 years now. So I've always, since she's been around,
well, you
been
have
more
been even before she was here. You was a parent. Cause while she was, in your stomach, you was still a parent.
Yeah, but still, that's 5 years.
Your whole shit had to.
Okay, whole shit stopped. Point blank. Period.
Slow down.
Got more.
It didn't stop.
You right.
Slow down.
You're right. Fair enough. But it slowed down, and I got more responsible. But now it's like I need more stability. Like I started that with buying a house because I was like, bro, if I keep renting, I'm moving from place to place because after a while, I'm be like, I can't do this no more. But this is a place that I've been in, and I'm like, yeah, the only way that I'm leaving here is if I'm moving on to my forever home. Like, for now, this is perfect for us, So my thing is,
your starter.
Yeah. So my thing is, stability is what I need to have right now. And then on top of that, like I said, a lot of what I've been going through lately. So just with that, it's one of them situations where you just kind of got to get even more serious about what life is and how you want to go about handling that shit.
Gotcha. I think the closer I get to 30, that's when I will start to really reflect on everything I learned the hard way and everything I learned I call it through a blessing. Because it's just like, a lot of shit. Like I said, a lot of people ain't seen 30.
Right.
We got mutual friends that, didn't even get to see 21. So it's just like, man, I think I'll take that time to do some reflecting before I go kick it. But yeah, I thank you for that because I didn't even think about doing that until now. Just give thanks. Because I know a friend of mine, she had said that she was going to do thank you gifts to all her friends and family and stuff like that for you know, whether it's travel for her or whether it's
Right.
you know, something just to say thank you.
You gotta let motherfuckers know you appreciate them. Cause don't get me wrong, shit, when you going through, you ain't the easiest person to deal with.
Mm-mm.
When you going through shit. And that ain't no excuse for you to be a difficult ass person. But sometimes the weight of whatever people be going through is just a lot. And sometimes motherfuckers just be bitching. It be like that. But you got, number one, when it's over, you make amends. And you make sure you let your people know that you appreciate them. Cause, I mean, shit, you never know when a motherfucker ain't gonna be here no more. Like,
You know.
you never fucking know.
Yeah, like somebody recently just passed, and you know, I didn't know the person, but folks were saying like the city hurt behind this one.
Yeah, I think I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and I was just like, I don't know, dude, but you know, it's kind of like you see the shit that's going on out here. Don't be speeding up the process.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And this is just speculation or rumors for what I heard. You know, motherfuckers dive into, you know, lean or, you know, you got diabetes and you just eating up a motherfucking storm of sweets and shit. Or, you know, you got high blood pressure and you ain't drinking your water. No, it's not judging, but it's like
it's
inform
accountability.
yourself.
It's, you know, us as black people, naturally, we die at an alarming rate. And then we have all of these different diseases that we see plaguing our community. High blood pressure, diabetes, you know, people having heart problems. More and more people are having cancer, you know, colon cancer, shit like that. It's like, you know, prostate cancer, shit like that. You can't. My thing is, take care of your peoples. Take care of yourselves. Take care of your peoples. Because this shit is crazy.
How old are you thinking? What age are you thinking about getting your prostate check?
I really think about doing it before 30. I just ain't got no primary care.
Why? You work you got benefits and stuff, right?
I think I do. I don't know if they kicked in.
Get out his business.
Well,
Get out his business on the podcast.
We talking about black health. I'm just asking if you know he was just getting his prostate checked because I'm nervous.
Me too.
I'm nervous. You know what I'm saying? The doctor like cavity check. Nah, man. Because it was that meme that said the nigga had busted a nut when he got his prostate checked, and he shot the doctor. I don't know how true that was. But nigga,
Probably wasn't real true, but
shit, what shooting the doctor part? Probably
Yeah.
not. Yeah, but you know, nigga, yeah.
I mean, just do your due diligence. Stay on top of it. Stay on top of it. That's all I can say.
I guess, man, you right, but that prostate exam is a motherfucker, man. And that's what I've been thinking about too. Before I hit 30, it's just like I'm reaching this point now to where, you know, there needs to be frequent doctor visits. Even you know what I'm saying. Even if it's just checking up, like
You need to make sure everything in working order.
like every 6 months probably instead of annually. Yeah, no, everything needs to be working in order. Some people do the holistic healing. Man, speaking of holistic healing, I seen. Never mind. It was just a post where it was a hairy leg.
What about it?
On a woman,
Okay.
and it just was. I was dying. Anyway,
It wasn't something that you're accustomed to.
no, not at all. It's one thing to have like a little bit of hair.
No,
But this was
no,
my- this was
no,
my shit.
no. You ain't gonna say no. It's one thing
I'm
to
talking.
have.
I'm talking about for
hair.
what I see.
I understand what you saying, but no.
So what are you telling me no for? Why?
I'm telling you, no, you're not going to shame somebody because they decide that they don't want to shave their legs.
That I just saw my leg through another camera lens. Like, I mean, through it. I'm not shaming nobody. I'm just saying what my expectations are and what I gotta deal with. If that's what you gonna do, that is what you gonna do, and I'm cool with that. It is what it is. But anyway, let's go ahead and get into our topic.
All right.
I told you gotta bring me in.
Oh, all right. So, topic for today
is
we talked about it before the pod started, but I don't remember the exact topic. Essentially, it's along the lines of preparing your kids to be decent spouses.
Right.
Like, what do you, when you the one that proposed this topic, so when you came up with the topic, what were your thoughts?
Well, you know, I'll be just scrolling through social media a lot. And so I just see like some of the same issues, whether it be with men. Mostly, well, I follow a lot of women, so it's mostly, you know, the issues towards men. It's like somebody was explaining how men actually are bums, or not all men, of course, but how some of them actually be bums. How some of them, you know, are leeches. How some people are using women to be either a crutch or, you know, be somebody that they step on their way to getting to where they need to be. Okay. I have, at least to my knowledge, I have never been one of those men. Now, to the extent to what they were saying, I know what I had asked. How many men have moved in with y'all this year?
This year, or in the last 2 years?
Yeah.
I saw that post.
And it was just...
I stayed away from that post.
We can elaborate on that too.
No.
But anyway, yeah, it was just how they were saying, you know, how many, and then they were going into detail about, you know, I helped him get a car, you know, I helped him get a job, I helped him, you know, better himself, and it's just kind of like, you know, if you're doing all this for your guy, what did he come into the whole situation with?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And then on top of that, what is he doing for you in return? Because, I mean, relationships are not always 50-50. We know this. Sometimes one person is going to have to put in.
We know this. But when you just pose the idea of 50-50, folks just go crazy. And they always related to bills.
To finances, yeah. I mean, but you have, okay, we're not even going back to that conversation because I really want that shit to die, be buried, and never resurrected again.
That our conversation about
no,
it? Or just the topic?
The topic in general, because it's dumb now. It's just to the point where it's just ridiculous. But, what was I saying before that? We know that relationships aren't always 50-50. Sometimes you're going to have to put a little bit more into the relationship than the other person. But at all times, you should be pouring into your person. Even if you only have a little to pour in that moment, you should be pouring into that person. Because if both of y'all are pouring into each other, then y'all cup should never be empty.
Right.
And don't get me wrong, I understand the frustration of women that be like, you know, I helped him do this. My only issue now is when we sit and say, all right, well, I have to take accountability for my part in this. Yeah, you may have helped him with that. And you did that out of love. You did that out of pure desire of wanting to see this man better himself. That is your reward in that, unfortunately.
Right.
That is your reward in that. You did that out of love. You did that with a pure heart. Unfortunately, the relationship between you and this other individual did not work out. Number one, when he came into this relationship, like you said, what did he come into this relationship with? Number two, is he somebody that is pouring into you as well? Because at this point, it's pretty much meet me where I'm at. Like you gonna have to be providing something for me. And that's not even just on a financial aspect. That's on a, hey, if I'm having a day where my mental is off and I just need somebody to either talk to or I need that shoulder to lean on, you my person, I should be able to call you for that.
Right.
I should be able to call you and say, hey, I need you.
So let me ask you this. Do you think you were prepared
For being
to learn
a parent
how to be
or being a spouse?
Being a spouse.
Absolutely not.
Why do you think this happened? That didn't happen.
I would say just a lack of knowledge from those that came before me. I mean, I saw marriages, I saw people be in relationships, but every different relationship that I've seen was different. They handled it different. It had different turnouts, different results. There were things that maybe people did that worked for them, but for whatever reason, it didn't sit right with me. Even just growing up and being somebody that didn't really know anything about love or relationships or anything like that. So, I mean, I don't think that I had anybody there to be like, hey, when you become a significant other, when you become a wife or whatever, look at the situation this way or anything like that. And then on top of that, my family has a very high rate of women that are not married. So you don't get married, you don't get to really see the ideal
of marriage.
Exactly.
Do you think there could have been questions that you could have asked though? Even in the relationships that you've seen?
I don't think no. And in that it's because of the black family, that whole trope on you can't really get into grown folks' business. You can't really go and ask these questions because they don't know how to give you the answers themselves. Some of the time they miserable themselves and don't really know how to answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Like we have these families that have been so afraid to talk about different things. We're afraid to talk about sexuality. We're afraid to talk about, molestation. We're afraid to talk about how granddaddy got a whole nother family up the block and around the corner. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody wants to talk about that stuff. And unfortunately, how to have a successful relationship or how to have a successful marriage, aside from folks telling you, take it to God. As long as you got God at the head of it all, you good. That's the most that you gonna get from my family when it came to marriage and shit. Black people, period. That's about the most you gonna get. As long as God is leading your marriage.
But you've been divorced 3 times.
Exactly. You've been divorced 3 times. Pastor out here sleeping with the whole congregation. I'm just saying. So,
didn't you go through that?
Listen, it wasn't me. Pastor wasn't sleeping with me. That's all I can say. That's all I can say. He wasn't sleeping with me.
Yeah, I think when people tell you to have God leading a relationship, that's cliche. You're not really expounding on the factors you're not expounding on what the foundation may look like for you guys, or get an understanding of it. Even though it's going to be different for everybody, you should at least understand this is what we stand on. This is what holds us together.
Right.
You know
Do
what
you
I'm
feel
saying?
like you were prepared?
I've I'm gonna go 50-50 with that. The reason being is because my mom did raise me to be independent, or raised me to be depending on myself. But she also has thrown out there when she would always say, whenever you get your wife or whenever you get your kids, I want you to know how to do this. You know.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, I guess I was raised or told a few things about, how to be a good spouse, but it was like on the aspect of masculinity. And when I say that, meaning like you gotta do what you gotta do,
Right. I
or
get that.
yeah,
It's not really. It's more of the roles that we have to play, the traditional gender roles that we generally have to play, versus what it means to actually be a partner to somebody, what it means to actually be a spouse to somebody. Because I mean, ultimately, for me, it means loving me the way that I need to be loved. I can't, if I'm telling you that this is how I need to be loved, you can't come to me and try to give it to me a different way. Not that I'm being ungrateful about it or I'm not being accepting about it, but if the best way to show somebody that you really love them is to provide them with what it is that they're telling you they need from you, versus just doing whatever the fuck it is you want to do.
yeah. I think in the aspect of telling your child how to communicate, you know, I wasn't taught how to communicate with people, and the funny part is I don't even know how I learned, proper communication, or just find ways to communicate based on who that person
You
is.
found out what worked for you, because you also knew what your non-negotiables were. You know what you're not gonna accept from somebody in a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Even in communication, like, you know what you're not gonna accept from somebody. You know what you will accept from somebody.
But some people are like that, but they also don't know how to be receptive properly. They don't know how to. They don't know how to listen.
Right.
Motherfuckers, they really will not learn to listen to you. They will wait just so that they can reply back to you. Like we always say, people don't
Listen to understand.
Listen to understand. They listen to reply.
Yeah.
So if you're a parent and you're trying to teach your child how to be a better spouse, lover, whatever, teach them how to communicate. Teach them how to listen.
Right.
Start by saying, okay, I just said to you, this bothers me, that bothers me, that bothers me. How can you respond back to me in a proper manner? Just go through actual like examples with
Right.
your kids, because I didn't get that all the way. That's like, I mean, even when it comes down to sex, we didn't get I didn't get the sex talk. Maybe my brother did, but I didn't. So it's like, if you couldn't communicate with your handsome, good looking, at the time, ball playing son, that, hey, these sack chasers is out here. You know what I'm saying? They gonna want you. They gonna try and sneak you off somewhere. Get pregnant by you. You have to be open to have those tough conversations. And that's another thing. When you see that your parents don't know how to have tough conversations with you as a kid, I think that kind of affects you and throws you off as an adult. Because it's kind of like you avoided it and you're still looked as, this good person or whatever. I can avoid it as well.
Still do the same.
Right.
I get that. And I guess I understand, because my mama was a straight shooter, so I got a sex talk. I'm not gonna say that it was a thorough sex talk.
Or work. I'm sorry.
Come on with the shade tonight, bro.
All right.
God, dog. Anywho, I ain't gonna say it was the most thorough, and I feel like that's because she could only give me what she knew at the time. You know what I'm saying? Me and my mama practically grew up together, so
What's the years?
we're
The age?
15 years apart.
Damn, your mama ain't even hit 50. Duh.
My mom just turned 45.
That's crazy.
Yeah. We're 15 years apart. But like she could only give me what she had at the time. She was still, you know, as I was growing up, she was still growing up and shit. Still learning different shit. So why you making that?
I'm just thinking about you going to prom and your mama just left prom last year.
Shut up.
Dang.
Shut up. It was longer. You an asshole.
No, I'm just looking at the time and how quick. I don't know, man. I know I always look at. I was blessed to not have kids at a very early age, because some of us should have, but God was on our side. But anyway, yeah.
That was a goal of mine. I was like, bro,
I hit 18.
I am not gonna be no teenage parent. I am not.
Sometimes you kind of wish you was though.
No.
You like, by now my kid would be like 12.
I absolutely don't. I absolutely don't. And the reason why I say that is because I saw how my mama struggled. I'm privileged enough to be able to say that I'm one of them people that see the struggle and be like, I don't want to go through that.
Do you ever think your mama? And this is no deal to you, because this replays in my mind with other parents in general. Do you think your mom was ever jealous of you that you had a kid at an older age than she did?
No.
Because I know some parents, but you do know some parents do be like that, right?
Like, no, like it's crazy because there are people out there that think that way, and we found that out recently. Like, well, not just so recent, but we found that out not too long ago, because people, anytime I had a milestone in my life, people would ask her, you know, does it bother you that they've hit, you know, either Shanika or Elwer have hit this milestone that you may not have been able to accomplish at the age that they were at? And my mom's response is always the same. She's like, her only wish is that we surpass what she was able to do. And the fact that I was able to wait until I was 25 to have my first child, and I'm a homeowner, you know, things like that. Like, those are things that make my mama proud. You know what I'm saying? It ain't. And then she wanted a grandbaby. She was ready for one. And, you know, being so young and things like that, like, had I had a baby at a younger age, I'd be a completely different person than who I am now. And we couldn't have handled me being a teenage mom. Like, that would not have been. No, I could not have handled me being a teenage mom. No.
So, all right. So, as a mom, have you thought about how you would raise your daughter in the light of being with someone?
What you mean?
Like, have you thought about what things you would sit down and talk to Jai about when she gets older, or things that you would show her?
Yes and no. Like, I don't just pinpoint things that I want her to know, because number one, I've learned that every relationship is different. You get to craft your own relationship how you see fit. What works for me and may not work for you and yours. You know what I'm saying?
But
so hear me out. Let me finish. Because Because I know what you're asking, and I know I ain't gave you all of what you want, so hold on. But what I am saying is, although I know, like, she's her own person, I want her to experience that. But the things that I do, things that I feel like she should know about about being a better spouse to somebody, I more so look at it from the aspect of I want her to learn both sides of it. I want her to learn the male's perspective and the woman's perspective. So my perspective on that is her being around me and just seeing how I interact with my significant other. I don't hide anything from Ja. The only thing Ja is not privy to is anything that goes on in my bedroom. Other than that, me and Ja, like, she's completely aware of what a relationship, like what my relationship looks like, because I want her to be able to take from it what she wants to apply. I want her to be able to take from it what she feels, because have you ever seen like a couple interact and you just be like, oh, that particular action that just took place gave me the warm fuzzies. There's a lot of times where Ja feels that and she'll express that. Oh, I like when you and Big Ant do blase, blase, blase. And so those are the things that I'm like, okay, well, when she sees that, those are the things that I want her to be able to keep hold to, because those are the things that make her feel good. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying. But now my question is, you want her to see both sides. So are you willing to have your spouse explain his side?
Yeah.
How do you think that will go?
I think that's fair. They have they have conversations now.
Yeah, but it's gonna be different though, as
they continue to get older. The one thing that I'm proud of with Ja is she knows how to hone her relationships with people. She decides when she wants to meet people. She decides when she wants to talk to people. She decides what type of relationship she wants to have with people. With her and him, they have a really cool relationship right now. Like, they kind of find that balance of him being the parent and her being the child. But other than that, it's more of when they talking or when they hanging out, they just kicking it. They talk like their birthdays are like days apart. So they talk to each other like they didn't known each other their entire lives.
Or was that like a astrology reference?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
You believe in that?
Bro, they're asleep.
Sleep, boy.
It's out.
It's definitely something to it.
It's that. I mean, I ain't one of them people that's like, just because this is your sign, you definitely this type of person. No,
and that shit is irritating.
I'm not that. But I do what I have noticed. There are 4 people in my life. All of them, their birthdays are around the same exact time, within days of each other. And when I tell you, they all have very similar traits. All 4 of them. You can't tell me something ain't going on there. It has to be at least in the time period of when the moon is in a certain phase. I'm not saying that, everything is definitive, but I do believe energies change and shifts at different times of the year and shit like that. So
I just be trying to figure out where they get this idea of of a Virgo from. Like, do you just ask 10 people, or you just people watch 10 people, and then you come up with this idea, 10 Virgos,
listen, I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I couldn't tell you. I don't get that deep into it.
I'm shocked too.
I think there's truth in everything. I guess that's my biggest problem. I think there is truth in everything.
Really?
Yep.
That's okay. All right.
You might bend whatever it is, whatever information that you're giving. You might bend it a little bit, but it's truth in everything.
Okay.
So, like, back to this discussion of the topic. So, when it comes down to you and being a dad and having a daughter, how do you see yourself preparing her to be? Because I feel like it's one thing to be a man and have a son and raise him to be a spouse, but it's something completely different with them girls.
I think for me it'll be first. It's 100% free game for as long as I live. And this is actually something that some of my homeboys and I we discuss. It's just like you gotta be open. I think my best communication will come when my daughter gets older, and she starts to be her own person completely, right, and starts to learn stuff. So I have to be straightforward. I can't hide the truth from you. I know for certain I will teach her about communication. And that's why I was about to say the but part when you were speaking. But, communication, consideration, selflessness, and like you said, some people are different, but I just gotta talk to them about punctuality. Of course, for me personally, I'm a punctual person, so I would break that down to her to if somebody's
go ahead, finish.
If somebody is expecting you to do something or to be somewhere, and I mean, punctuality, communication works hand in hand, and consideration. It's all tied into it, because if you can't do it, if you can't be there, if you're gonna be late, it's okay to say my bad. It's okay to say I apologize. It's okay to give a detailed answer, though all those things come to play with each other, because it's just like, give me an understanding of what's going on. Don't leave somebody in a blank area, in a blank mind space, and with no understanding. And then, like I say, with the communication part, it's just being able to be receptive to what somebody else is saying, and understand where they come from. Learn to ask why. Or what do you mean?
Down pat.
Yeah, I mean, and that.
But isn't that like that? I mean, I guess for me, those are things that I generally try to teach her. You treat everybody that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I guess that's why I don't necessarily look at it on the aspect of being a spouse or something like that. Like, you treat everybody that way. Like, Ja has always been one of the people, like, she's always wanted to know why. Right. Which kids always want to know why. All of them. Why? So she's always had the freedom to ask me. If I tell her something and she come back with a why, she's guaranteed to not get in trouble for that, because I want you to, I don't want you to just be somebody that takes orders. I want you to be somebody that knows and understands what you're doing. That's just like I was telling Waldeezy earlier. Yesterday, Mama called me and she was like, I feel like your daughter just checked me. And she basically, Mama has my car right now. And so she took Ja to daycare in my car, and she put her backpack and her dog in her car. And on the way to daycare, Ja was like, Gigi, why didn't you put my backpack in this car? And Mama explained to her that when she picked her up from daycare, she was going to pick her up from daycare in her car. And Ja's response was, that makes sense. And my mama was like, okay, so did she just try to check me to make sure that what I'm doing makes sense or something? And I was like, nah, that's just her way of letting you know that she understood what you just explained to her. Because if she don't understand, she gonna definitely tell you that don't make sense.
Yeah. I think when it comes down to me doing it with my daughter, it's because I would have to explain to her from the male perspective that when you're venting, he's thinking about a solution. You're not gonna always understand why he's thinking about a solution.
Bad.
So now I have to explain to you that we are sitting. I hope you wake up. That we are sitting here trying to figure out how we can make you happy.
Right.
Because whatever that person's reason may be, but just the whole situation, we want it to be a better one.
Right.
We don't want you to still feel shitty in your situation. So yeah, I mean, from that part of, because I could generalize it, but it's certain specific things that men do when it comes down to
And I get
interacting that I have to forewarn you about.
And see, I feel like as the man, like that would be something that he would teach her. I mean, I could tell her that, but because I'm not a man, it's not gonna stick with her. You know what I'm saying? Like when it comes to getting a man's perspective on things, I feel like can't no woman tell you about no man's perspective.
But they try. They try.
Listen.
They try.
They try. They can't though. You just can't. You ain't never been a man, so you don't know.
That's
or
like
at
when
least
that
not
real
in
man.
this life.
That's like when that real man discussion come up with like, where's a real man? Or if you was a real man, you would do. You trying to be a beneficiary of whatever it is that you want me to do. It's not gonna work like that.
You can't tell a man what a real man is. Just like a man can't tell a woman what a real woman is.
And if we ever try, it would be hell.
It would be hell to pay.
We go through a lot of hell for having an opinion. I tell you, I go through a lot of hell for seeing both sides of a situation. I be like, I understand, but this occurs because da 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 da, and I'm not taking a side. It's just
I want you to see the full picture.
I want you to try to see, and if you don't, that's fine. But it's thrown out there for you to see the other side of it.
I understand that.
And you know what I'm saying? If I don't see another side of it, then I'm just really, set in stone or pissed off about something.
Now, don't get me wrong. I can't argue both sides of a situation. I can see both viewpoints and everything like that. But if my emotions are involved in that situation, it is guaranteed that I am going to side with my emotions. I don't give a fuck how much right logic is. If my emotions are involved, I'm guaranteed to side with my emotions. That's why I know, like, some things, though I want her, like, I want Ja to protect her emotions. But I know for me, my emotions is something that I will go to bat for tooth and nail. I don't give a fuck if I'm right or wrong. My emotions, I'm going to fight for that and I'm going to protect that. But I need her growing up to learn that sometimes people do still be looking out for you, even if your feelings a little hurt in that moment. And you can't allow your emotions to get the best of you. And it's hard, kind of, trying to get your kid to do the opposite of who you are. Yeah. And like, I'm one of them people where I really don't want to tell Ja to do something. Like, I can't tell you to live by some guidelines that I can live up to my damn self. Mm-hmm. That's difficult for anybody. And then on top of that, she act a lot like me. Like, I done had days where I done been fussing at her and called her by my name. Like, that's you don't understand how frustrating that shit is.
Wait, what do you mean called her?
You know how when you fussing at your kid and you call your kid name? I didn't call my kid name. I called my name.
Yeah, that's some other shit, dog. Have you did that before?
No, I never forgot his name, but shit.
I mean, he ain't got no choice but to call the kid by his name.
Yeah, I don't know. That's,
Bro. Huh? Like, cause you know that it's not one. I knew that it was a trait of mine that she had picked up, and it was just like I'm assuming that my mind was like, damn, she's acting a lot like Shanika right now, and so in the process of me fussing at her, instead of saying Jazion, I said Shanika.
yeah, that's the spiritual shit you be going through, man. Cause
that nigga. That's my
does,
dog.
Does that only work for like same sex kid parent thing?
I don't know. I don't even think my mama done called me by her name before. That might just be a me thing.
You must have had some veins coming out of your goddamn head. Cause yeah, man, had to be pissed off or something. Cause I've seen you yell, but it's kind of like that meme where it said when you on FaceTime and she beating her kids, and all he said was he was hungry. He'd be like,
I do not beat my kid. I do not beat my kid.
I was. All right.
She will get fussed at.
But yeah, I'm gonna tell you, I always play back how I would have to transition from talking about the relationship to talking about sex part.
Are you prepared for that conversation?
You know what? In a confident way, I am, because it's like it's nothing really that I can say aside from niggas gonna try you, dog. This is why they gonna try you. That. You know, don't be no curious motherfuckers because somebody. One thing I will say, don't fall for a person just because, you know, that person is just the only person around you that has interest in you.
Right. Learn
to see if that person is a good compliment for you. If not, and you're still alone, it's okay to be alone. And I'm gonna do my best to show you how it's okay to be alone until, you know, you find somebody that you're comfortable with.
Right.
But as far as sex, man, I'm just like, I don't know. There's some hoe ass niggas out here. I used to be one. You know what I'm saying? It's like,
he used to be one.
You don't have to utter that again, cause
listen, cause it's the used to be that I'm hung up on.
Fuck you. Okay? Fuck you.
You know what?
Cause I used to be one. I used to be out here, man.
Used to be.
I used to be out here, man. I used to be running rapid, going crazy and shit, man, breaking people's hearts. I don't do that no more. I'm retired. I'm gonna post my jersey one day, and then I'm gonna just be like, you know,
you need help. You need help. You need serious help. Like,
no, I do.
No bullshit.
I really do. I'm a look into that. I ain't gonna say that. But yeah, I'm gonna look into it. You know, I'm gonna talk to the lady.
What motherfucking lady?
Yo, I have never been one of those dudes, man, who be like, I've never been one of the dudes that just call up a chick I used to fool with and we just went south really bad and just be like, man, if can't nobody have you, I mean, if I can't have you, nobody can have you.
It ain't that serious.
It ain't that serious, man. I don't know why people are like that.
But people are.
But women are turned on by that shit.
And that's not nothing
and then
to be turned on by.
They post about it. like my whole question about do you have an ex that can come back? A lot of people said yes, and some of these people might be in relationships with somebody right now while they're saying yes. But
I ain't got nobody that could come back.
I hope not. But
Mm-mm.
but yeah, I mean, you, and then some people went into detail about, oh, he crazy, but I like him though, I love him though.
Nah. Everybody sitting here talking about how they don't want the toxic shit, but that's the shit that you in love with.
Cause it's sporadic, it's that spontaneous shit that you be wanting.
Man, fuck
and
that.
It's like you not getting romance out of this nigga, so you gonna find something romantic, but it's toxic because it's spontaneous.
That's dumb as shit.
It's dumb as shit, but women love it. Women love it. Women eat that shit up.
Stop it. Stop it.
You be like, no, nigga, I don't want to deal with you. Like the whole, if I block you on this, that, and the other, you better find a way to contact me. Women are sharing that. Even though it's an entertainment thing, you see how entertainment has been affecting us overall.
People
look
like,
at OnlyFans.
I saw this post on Instagram, and I probably didn't share it once or twice. No, I probably shared it once on my Facebook, but I saw it on Instagram today, and it was like, it was basically how this chick was saying that some niggas is just fuckable too, like they ain't husband material, and the majority of niggas that was in the comments was like, okay, it's not fucked up, like we gotta stop. Like, niggas, if you can't want, as a woman, you cannot want this happiness and this level of respect where, somebody taking you serious, but at the same time you want the motherfucker that's gone, do all the extra crazy shit just to get you back. Like, that's some toxic shit. Like, if he doing all this extra crazy shit to get you back, just imagine what the fuck he'll do if you one day he finally say, all right, nah, I ain't about to let you go.
Yeah,
bro, that's some dumb shit.
That reminds me. You saw what happened to the black woman?
Yeah,
with the football
I saw
player.
that.
That shit was wild.
I saw that,
man.
And it's getting spread around social media, but it ain't getting no
national news coverage. I don't get why people will put their hands. First of all, don't put your hands on a woman. Secondly, y'all don't need to put your hands on each other.
Don't put your hands on people, period.
Yeah, like, you bound to get fucked up.
Don't.
And then you get fucked up, and now you calling your family members over because he fucked you up for something you was doing that you wasn't supposed to be doing. Now he probably gonna be in trouble, or you gonna lose a family member for fucking around with the wrong person. You know what I'm saying?
Y'all just be safe out here. Be careful out here. Number one, being in a relationship is not worth sacrificing your safety and your sanity. It's not worth sacrificing your livelihood. Don't get me wrong. It's wonderful to be in a relationship. It's good. But to sacrifice, and I feel like it's younger people that think this is okay. To be, oh, well, he crazy, but I love him. No, he dude sitting here taking pictures with you and you letting him put the gun to your head or some stupid shit like that. Like, bro, that's not nothing to play with. That's not nothing that you want to find, you want to make light of. Because if a motherfucker is that comfortable doing shit like that with you, then it ain't no telling how far they willing to go. Right. And there's too many people out here losing their lives over dumb shit. And when I say dumb shit and stupid shit, I'm not judging nobody as far as what they do, but I want people to make better decisions, because we constantly seeing people die at a younger and younger rate. younger ages, quicker rates, whether it's from gun violence, they, overdosing on drugs, different shit like that. Like, care more about yourself to not go through unnecessary shit with another motherfucker. I could get it if you was taking yourself through some unnecessary shit, but don't allow another motherfucker to take you through some bullshit.
Right. Take care of yourself.
Just don't even do it.
Love yourself. Take care of yourself.
Treat yourself.
Shit, that was it, man. I like the way I ain't got nothing else to say. I like the way that ended.
High five. All right. Well, on that note, that was his truth.
And that was her truth.
And somewhere in there is the real truth. We'll holler at y'all
later.
Vibrating on and 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 on. Vibrating on and 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 on.
Swinging, I'm swinging. Yo, I'm popping my trunk. Yo, swinging, I'm swinging. I'm swinging. Yo, I'm popping my trunk. Yo, swinging, I'm swinging. I'm swinging. Yo, I'm popping my trunk. Yo, swinging, I'm swinging. I'm swinging. Yo, I'm popping my trunk. Yo.
Came down trippin', I spill lean on my models. I'm from where they tip slow, and you know they gon' be jealous. Nobody need to guess me, dog. I'm quite sure you can smell it. I'm draped up, dripped up.
Draped up, tripped out. My solar songs pouring out from D-Town to Rocktown. They know what we talking about. I'm draped up, tripped out. My solar songs pouring out from D-Town to Rocktown. They know what we talking about. Draped up, tripped out. My solar songs pouring out from D-Town to Rocktown. They know what we talking about. I'm draped up, tripped out. My solar songs